Welcome to the weather forecast for the week beginning Wednesday, September 15th, 2021. I'm Chief Meteorologist John Ensworth for Longmont Public Media. Let's see what's coming up this week. Well, first we have a full moon on September 21st, Tuesday. We're going to have a great amount of light out of this one, rising at sunset, setting at sunrise. The first full day of fall hits September 22nd, the next day on Wednesday. It begins officially at 1:20 p.m. We'll bring this up next week because this slide applies to that too. It's also an interesting connection between the first day of fall and our forecast for a week out from now. For some reasons, nothing new came in on the Colorado drought or the national drought map, so we still have a little bit of drought or dry conditions around I-25. That's all I can say this week. We'll have to catch up next. Precipitation around Fort Collins to Denver, not much happened. The mountains got a little splattering here and there from a few thunderstorms. The best rain was around the Palmer Divide, Colorado Springs, and out on the eastern plains. So the pattern that we have from Tuesday night, early Wednesday, there's a departing trough in overall trophy pattern that's now being replaced by, yes, the western ridge. So the last chance of thunderstorms and cloudiness that you saw on Tuesday moved out with this feature. Now on Wednesday afternoon, we see dry air coming in from the southwest, dry air south of us. The monsoonal flow is totally cut off, and we are going to go into a very dry period. For Thursday noon, the precipitatable water map shows some mid-level moisture kind of arcing in, but not much after that. Out here in the southwest, it is just dry, with dryness coming in to replace dry air. But thankfully, smoke is a little better. Since things are moving faster, the smoke isn't pooling up as much around. So starting on Thursday, we have fires in central and northern California. The ones up in Oregon, Washington, and Idaho, Montana are smaller now. They are getting some cooler weather conditions at times, and it's going to take a big change, hopefully helping to shut fires down next week. So let's put that into motion. Smoke at all levels. You can see it kind of coming up and around. Afternoon flare-up. Smoke is going through Wyoming. A little bit of this stuff that's very old smoke that's circled around will be drifting over, but that's going to remain in the upper parts of the atmosphere. If you take a look at the surface, we almost completely clear out over the next day or two. More of these low-level smoke is over the western parts of the state until right in the end of that loop. So some haze, not choking smoke. With the dry air and the rebuilding the high pressure system, we have chance of thunderstorms pretty much not existent for Wednesday in Colorado. A little bit in the northeast, you might see a thunderstorm, but the severe stuff remains from Nebraska up to Wisconsin, Minnesota. For Friday, nothing at all around here. No severe weather expected across the entire nation. So the normal high temperature drops from 79 to 74. We are seeing 90s a lot in the short term. So definitely 10 degrees to 15 degrees above normal at times. Our low is dropping all the way down to 44. And it's not until we get around the September 21st, 22nd area that we finally see something cool move in with a chance of precipitation. A model run of the GFS a couple days ago actually had snow on I-25 with this system, but I don't think that's happening. So the feature for the 20th into the 21st, you can see is this big trough pushing down, really vigorous, positively tilted. So severe weather may not be as big of a player, but the ridge switches over to the east coast to get a complete flip-flop of the pattern we've had for much than the past few months. So let's put that in motion and take a look. I'll put the arrow over us. You can see the trough passes Thursday north of us, and the ridge down in Texas starts to nose its way up, and we see at the end of the week that ridge is enough to put us into the 90s. Into Monday into Tuesday, here comes that big low, and it slams through, even a little cutoff low there forming, and it kind of goes up in the upper Midwest with strong north-northwest flow after it. You can see just off the west coast another cutoff low forming there. The ridge is building again over Arizona and up the west coast at the end of this, into around the 24th, 25th. So we'll take a look at temperatures. Here's some cool, abnormally cool weather from Nicholas. Lots of sweltering heat over us until a little cold front comes down on Friday. The heat comes back the very next day. For the weekend, it's hot. Here comes the coolness into the west. This should help the fires a lot out there, with heat over us through Tuesday, and then vigorous cold front pushes in Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday. You're going to feel the chill on the first day of fall, astronomical autumn. The heat does seem to come back after that as that little cutoff low just creates a cold pool over the northern plains. So there's not much to see with the precipitatable water, the amount of water that can be pushed out of the atmosphere in a good convective situation. We just remain really dry. Here comes the trough in the west. There's a bubble of moisture coming over in advance of it, not enough to probably give us any storms. And then come Tuesday and Wednesday, as the front goes by, deep moisture is to our north and then east, and we go right back into the dry after that. Cooler, but dry. Look at that little storm down there. I ignored it earlier, but it doesn't have a name yet. We're going to see that in the tropical section in a moment. Okay, so taking a look at precipitation. I'll stop after about the Tuesday storm time frame because it's just boring here. Colorado's high and dry. There's a little system possible here. We'll look at that too in a moment. Here comes a little showers into the west on Sunday. They fade out and don't make it over the mountain. Watch for snow up in Wyoming as these come through, and snow in the northern mountains of Colorado for Monday into Tuesday. And that rapidly pulls out and just gives the upper Midwest some rain. And we're back to the dry weather. Here comes that big mystery storm. That could really make news on the southeast coast. Over the next 5 days, almost nothing expected. Over the next 10 days, the same. We have 90s ending the week until that little cool front comes in, drops us to 80. We climb back to the 90s for Saturday, another cool front for Sunday, with a little chance of rain into Monday. And Tuesday takes a big temperature drop, and if this storm tracks differently, maybe we'll get some more moisture, but I'm only giving you about a 15% chance, maybe 25% chance of a storm in Longmont or nearby. Taking a look at the tropics before we go. Here is Nicholas, now a tropical depression, moving extremely slowly in Louisiana, dumping tons of rain right where Ida went through. So they don't need that. They have hardly begun to clean up, and this is now going to increase flooding chances a lot. Here's our mystery monster storm, potentially monster storm. It's only called Invest 95L, and it's tracking towards the Bahamas and the Caribbean over here. It is a long ways out. Its track could be just about anything. This is, not an official forecast. These are just some computer runs that have not a lot of data going into them. Likewise, if you look at the future strength, there's everything from 84 hours out, not even being a tropical storm, to 84 hours out being a Category 1, and some models take it all the way up to Category 3 at 125 days out. Again, it's too early to say. We'll have a good idea next week as to what might be happening to the U.S. If it does anything close to hitting the U.S., it might just curve out and go back out into the ocean, die in the North Atlantic. There is that little local low forming. It's called Invest 96L. It doesn't have a name either. It's not even a tropical depression yet, but it could kind of get going here, skirting past the northeast coast. There's a lot of potential tropical activity. For frequent weather updates and local news, check out longmontleader.com, where I have my weather article. This has been Chief Meteorologist John Ensworth. Keep looking up.